What's good, everybody? It's your man, The Voice, here with this week's Time Out. This is where we take a step back and assess the game of life, looking to God for strategies to bring us true success. This week's thought: one thing. On October 27th, 2025, an altercation occurred at a Miami gentleman's club by the name of Tootsie's. This took place between a bottle service hostess and Tank Davis. The young lady was previously in a relationship with the boxer. Unfortunately, this is not the first time Mr. Davis had a domestic claim with a woman. One of the biggest questions in all of this was, why was he there? This happened 2 weeks before arguably the biggest payday of his life. Though an exhibition, most in the boxing community felt that he should be training for the bout that he was to have with Jake Paul instead of having a night out on the town. As a result, the fight was canceled. Paul lined up a replacement in Anthony Joshua, and the world moved on. For Tank, though, this was the worst outcome, as many thought that him taking the fight with Jake Paul in the first place was a sham, and they turned on him. Now he's lost that opportunity. All of this happened because he lost sight of what was important. It makes me think of the time that Jesus was in Bethany and Martha was preparing a meal for he and his disciples. This was a very important task. While she was working hard to prepare things, her sister Mary was sitting, listening to the instruction of Jesus. It was obvious that Mary should assist with the preparations. This was so plain to Martha that she said, "Lord, doesn't it seem unfair to you that my sister just sits here while I do all the work? Tell her to come and help me." But the Lord said to her, "My dear Martha, you're worried and upset over all these details. There is one thing worth being concerned about. Mary has discovered it, and it will not be taken from her." Like Martha, we think we know what God should be doing in our lives, how he should use others or systems to bring those things to pass, when we should be asking, "Lord, what is it that you want?" Was a temporal need important? Absolutely. I mean, if we don't eat, we're not going to live. Jesus ministered to those temporal needs by feeding the multitudes, but it was all done to draw those people to what was eternal, and that was life in him. There's so many things that we can concern ourselves with: the state of the world, charitable causes, legacy, you name it. The most important thing, though, is what God is saying to you and following that. Johnny James had a saying, and I'm sure that it was a sermon as well. And that statement was, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. In other words, keep your priorities straight. Know what is most important. Remove all roadblocks, dismiss the distractions, do all you can to achieve that thing that God has for you, that he has instructed you to do. Often we're drawn to good things and we miss God's thing. Yes, what you're doing is beneficial, but ask yourself, is it the best thing I can do with my time? So here's the play. Find out what God is saying to you and do that. All other things, though good, they aren't good for you if it goes against what God has directed you to do. It's your man, the myth, the legend, the voice with this week's Time Out. All right, time to get back in the game of life. Until next week, ready, break.